Hey friends, Sheree here. Welcome back to the channel, Gardening Island with Sheree. I just wanted to go live real quick because I popped up to the garden to check on it. And, it's crazy how beautiful our fall weather has been. We did have, for portions of the state of Minnesota, some frost and freeze advisories, especially in the north. Um, and north of the city. Now, I live north of the city, but not that far north of the city. But certainly, folks in the city, um, you know, you get such a heat dome from living in the city, and especially when the houses are close together and the gardens are close to houses. They get a little bit of extra time. But I wasn't sure about my garden, uh, and the weather had forecasted that it was going to be 40 as the low. And I was like, oh, it's going to be fine. But it actually went lower than that. Um, and so I'm thankful again that that was more, I think because of the dryness, it wasn't very humid, didn't have a lot of moisture in the air. And again, we get that benefit of all the heat that's generated in the city. My garden isn't right up on my house, but I did purposely try to design it so that it would like trap heat to try to extend my season, and each year it's kind of worked. So I'm really out here just for my own documentation. Um, yeah, to see what is going on in the garden on October the 11th, 2025. So you can see here there's like no signs of cold weather. In fact, the bitter melon are still blooming, and the tomatoes, these are all new blooms this week. Now, they're not going to have time to fruit. Those are in grow bags and containers, so some of that stuff I'm going to move into my greenhouse, one of the greenhouses. But this is really the most spectacular thing, and really what I want to document. I'm going to dig in here after I'm done to find the tag, to find the name of this squash. But this squash did nothing, and I mean nothing. It just stayed, low to the ground. It had like 3, 4 leaves on it, and it stayed like that, like all summer. And then all of a sudden, like once all the other winter squash that were planted out here were done, and I was out here cleaning, um, something told me, said, no, just leave that there and see if it does anything. And sure enough, when the temperatures cool, it started growing like crazy. And so it has just taken over this whole section of the raised bed and the fencing. And let me show you all the fruit. All these fruit have formed in September, early October. There's that one. There's that one. There are a couple more. You'll see it in a long format video as well that I recorded. But yeah, they're like 3 good size ones. And so I'm thinking that one of them I'm going to go ahead and take off. I think there's one that's down on the ground. I'm going to take that off today and just cut it open and see like how it is, as a immature squash, basically. Let me show you here. It's still setting new fruit. Like that's a new fruit on that vine. That's how warm it's been. And yeah. And so I have to say that's one of the benefits of living in the city or close to the city, is that we do get that heat trapped, and that can extend us and certainly protect us during like one cold night. So you don't have one cold night and then it's like you just pull out your whole garden. I mean, we already have a very short growing season. And we, everybody that I know that gardens here, we're trying to extend our season as long as possible. So we don't want to have a premature ending if necessary, because we had like one cold night and then it warmed back up. So it look at this, all these new zucchini coming on this plant. I almost pulled that. Now we do have less and less pollinators flying around because they are starting to hunker down. Cold and frozen here. All the bugs, the ladybugs, the bees, and all those bugs, they know how to barrel in and nest so that they are protected during our winter, and they will re-emerge. And so this idea that bugs, some of them do, but a lot of them survive our cold temperatures. Obviously, that's why we can still have so many pollinators in our garden come spring. And so I think some of them, right, they go by the season. They know it's time for them to start to hunker down. Even if this is would be like spring temperatures, they're just not out as much. And so, yeah, that's just, nature knows what she needs to do. So there are much, much less, especially bee activity in the garden. This is an amaranth, a Chicago callaloo that I need to put like a little baggie over because I want to capture those seeds. And even here, I thought I had gotten all the onions because we had so much rain. And I think what happened is the tops of the onion had kind of just rotted off. And I'm noticing over the last 2 weeks, I've harvested a lot of onions. And I'm seeing all these green tops have emerged. And so there's still onions that I missed because there were no tops on them. So I'm going to give myself till Tuesday to get out most of, what I really, really want to have. And then I'm going to leave some stuff out here and just let it push. This is another squash that just took off again once the temperatures cooled and is producing fruit. This is all in October. And so, yeah, this is climate changes, warmer falls here in zone 4. That's I'm not gonna be mad about that. Let me show you over here. And look at how beautiful the tomato plants look. So clearly there has been no frost that hit the peppers. And everything looks really fantastic. These are all going to get moved into the greenhouse too, though, because these are, again, you'll learn more in an upcoming video. But this was like an expansion garden because I still had some starts and I didn't want to throw them away. So I put them in these pots that could be moved into the greenhouse. Look at that. October 11th in zone 4. So let's get off of here. I have so let's just go down to this one side real quick. Let's see some more new squash started since October. And same thing, I think I'm gonna go ahead and harvest these because I do have one that definitely fully matured, and I don't know that this is going to, have enough time. This is a Hubbard squash, a blue Hubbard squash, and that shot out 2 of those this month. And so I think I'm definitely going to take one again as a, immature I don't know if you would call it a summer squash, but it's definitely not fully ripened as a winter squash. So I think I'm going to take that inside and give that a taste too, and see, I mean, what does it taste like when it's not full size and fully ripened. Because I don't know, that one that did ripen, I mean, it was out here for a long time. And then of course I still have a lot of herbs. That's really what I have to work on. I might have to get my husband to help me, because they're still, I cut them back, and because it never got cold, they just grew back. So this is Korean licorice mint. All these tomato blooms. I still have big tomatoes that need to ripen. They're starting to blush. So exciting. I'm gonna move some of those dead vines off. But I have the Korean licorice mint. That's what this is. I have apple mint. This is ginger mint with that variegation in there. Like that. This is all ginger mint. This is a peppermint. All this ginger mint. Then I have all these nasturtiums that I'm gonna save. Yeah. And there's just this side here. This is more of the Korean licorice mint. This is all peppermint. And this is just all just in this one area. And I have two more of these kind of raised beds. Now, a lot of them I did get the mint out of already. But then here, more peppermint. I harvested the peppers off of here green, but look at the pepper plants are still full of flowers. And so I might figure out how to save those. But again, all this peppermint, y'all. And I've already harvested so much mint. I'm thinking about doing some cuttings and starts off of these to share with people, because it really is, this is a lot. This is like hundreds of dollars of mint plants. It really is. So, and it's just, it grows so nicely here in this raised bed. It's containerized. This is all just draping over the edge, right? It's not in the ground, but it just kind of drapes over the edge and looks so beautiful, and it stays contained in this area. So let me show y'all my one little bitter melon. I think I shared that in my short. All right, well, let me go inside because my battery's getting low. Actually, maybe we'll do a quick peek inside the garden. We can do this without tripping. Yeah. And these again are all like late starts that I put out, and they're in grow bags, so I'll probably move some of them. These are the new fall seeds that I sowed. Some new kales, carrots. But I gotta get our work out here. I have like 10, maybe 8 or 10 varieties of hardneck garlic that I need to plant out today. Yeah, this is what my garden is looking like on October the 11th, 2025 in Minnesota Zone 4. I still have one winter squash out here, and when I tell you that I'm so delighted to have found this, because I thought the squash vine borer had killed this whole plant, and it's a new variety for me, and I thought it was a different variety, that Seminole pumpkin that I got a lot of. And then I realized when I was harvesting it and pulling the strands back that no, that plant had rerooted and that grew. Now this is a winter squash. I think it's like 110-day to ripen, which is like my full grow season. And so, but it's starting here. You can see a little bit of yellow. Like that was all white. So it is starting to ripen. So I think I'm gonna get that fully ripened, and I'm gonna share that with y'all. Even here, this is a bed I was cleaning out, and I saw little Brussels are forming. My brassicas got they went to seed, and it just got too hot and dry after all the rain. It was weird. I think it was confused, didn't know what to do. So I just left this one cauliflower, and I figured, I'll let the bugs eat on that to leave my Brussels alone. And it seems to be working. This is my Seminole pumpkin plant, I'm pretty sure. And if you look back there, it's forming another fruit. That's all like this week. And so, yeah. But these beds, I'm going to have to, this is what I'm going to be doing. The main thing I'm going to be doing after I harvest is getting most of the stuff out of these beds and raising the soil level up and putting garlic in. Look here. Here's another Seminole pumpkin that just formed. This is so crazy. That was a very productive plant. I'm so thrilled with how that turned out. And then here, I don't know, I'm thinking about transplanting one or two of these walking stick kale plants into a pot and putting that in the greenhouse and just harvesting most of the rest. And if it grows back, fine. I don't know how that'll do over the winter here, how long it'll go. Maybe I'll leave one. But I want to get most of my kale. Now, I do grow the leafy greens indoors, all the Swiss chard and kale and lettuces. And I've started some of those. And I have a really big, even bigger indoor garden this season. I want to keep my leafy greens. But